Hey everyone, thanks for coming on. You know, a lot of times a watch can be more than just a timepiece. It can be a reflection of style or have a story behind it or mark something going on in your life. Today I'm going to open up, I'm going to show you the watches that I have, tell you a little bit of the story behind them. Stick around. Hey folks, thanks for watching today. Let me share just a little bit with you up front. There's a lot of verses in the Bible about marking time or a time for everything, counting days, a lot of different places, but one of my favorite is in creation when it tells us that the lights were put in the expanse of the heavens to separate day from the night and to be for signs and seasons and for days and for years. From the very beginning of time, as we know it, from the very beginning of creation, maybe I should say, time has been measured in some way. Before 1847, and really probably before 1884, time was something very local. It was often marked by some local clock or a bell tower, a church steeple, something in a jeweler's window, but it was very local. In the United States on November 18th of 1883, the railroads instituted a standard time in 4 different time zones across North America. Now, prior to that, it actually started by the British Railways, December 1st, 1847, when they switched to Greenwich Mean Time. The first time that it became actually law, as far as North America is concerned, or specifically the United States, was the Standard Time Act on March 19th, 1918, and that was also the same time that we instituted the daylight savings time. Okay, so enough of the fun facts and looking at history. I think you probably clicked on to take a look at my collection. Well, friends, I hate to disappoint you. I don't have any very high-end pieces. All of my watches are very attainable, very affordable for now. But let me take a little bit of time just to walk through my collection. Those that I have reviewed, I will link above where you can check out that video if you so desire. Also, the products that can be still purchased, a lot of my watches are a little older and they're not available anymore, but a few of them are. Some of the accessories are still available, and I will link those in the description down below, and those will be Amazon affiliate links. Just as full disclosure, it costs you nothing, but it does help me out if you click on those links and purchase or do your shopping from there. All right, so without further ado, let's take a look at some of my pieces here. First up, what we have is a Swiss Legend Traveler. Now this particular piece, I'm wanting to say, cost about $100 20 years ago or so. My wife and I both used to work at the same healthcare facility, and occasionally they would have different groups that would come in and sell, set up sales for scrubs and shoes and just different things. And this was purchased at one of those sales in the local healthcare facility. It's a really nice piece, very legible, easy to read, quartz movement. They've got some kind of proprietary, it's like a Saftec crystal, but just a nice, nice piece. I do wear it every once in a while, day to day, but it holds great sentimental value to me in that it was something that my wife purchased for me. So it holds a nice spot in my heart. Next up is an Invicta Lupa. It is a special edition. You know, Invicta is one of those brands I think people love to hate. They are a bit overdone, in my opinion, a little bit gaudy. But nevertheless, they seem to be a pretty decent watch for a quartz movement. I've actually got a couple of them. You'll see another one coming up right after this one. But this one was reference number 19948. And it was a Lupa, L-U-P-A-H, special edition. They listed it on their website. From what I could see, the last MSRP on it was $1,095. You can pick them up on eBay right now for about $150. Really is a super nice watch, although it is large. But it's nice. You can change the bands out on it. It's got like a quick release system where you can change the bands. This particular one came with the different colors that you see here, so you could switch it between the different colors, which makes it pretty nice. I'll still grab this one out and wear it every once in a while with a little bit dressier clothes. Because I can color coordinate it a little better with that white face and then matching the band to whatever I'm wearing. But again, a Lupa Special Edition. It was a gift from my son. He had acquired it from somewhere, I'm not sure where, but came in a box, all the papers. I still have all of that with it. And being that it was a gift from my son, that one, along with the next two that I'm going to show you, hold a really special place in my heart, and are really probably the watches that got me started at looking at trying to find various pieces. Now the next one that you see is an Invicta, reference number 5662, and this is an S1 Rally. This is a chronograph stopwatch. It really is a pretty cool looking piece, but man, I'm going to tell you it's massive. I didn't do a measurement on it. My wrist is almost 8 inches, 7 3/4 inches, something like that. And this watch is just oversized. There's no way around it, but it looks pretty neat, pretty sweet little piece. Certainly not worth the last listed MSRP of $1,195 that Invicta had it listed for. eBay on this one's about $230, but really a cool little piece, nice, neat looking little piece, sportier watch that can pull off a little bit of a dressy look, I guess. And again, that one was also a gift from my son, along with this Wittenauer, reference number 12B104, 12 Beta 104. You know, a lot of watches, you'll find the reference number on the case on the back. This one is actually on the dial along the bottom. It's a Montserrat. It's a late 90s, early 2000s piece. It was a Bulova era release. You can Google Wittenauer and find a lot of information about them. It does have a sapphire crystal. It's got a really neat face on it that's got some texture and depth to it with the vertical stripes. This watch was about $495 when it came out. Today you can still pick them up on eBay and a couple other sites for about $100. But I love it. It's a thinner watch, quartz, has the date at 6 o'clock on it. Two-tone with the stainless and the gold tone. It's not real gold. But it is a really, really solid watch. I really enjoy this watch a lot. And if I'm dressing up, most of the time, this is the watch that I will grab if I'm wearing a suit. Again, a gift from my son, and one of those watches that really kind of got me started into looking at watches as a hobby or a collection. Now, the next watch is one that I purchased on my own. It is a G-Shock. This reference number is GWM5610U. I just looked on the Casio website or the G-Shock website before I made this video, before I sat down to record, and this particular reference number is no longer available on their site. They've got some very similar watches. This one, when it was sold, was listed at $165. I purchased mine for about $110, $115 off of Amazon, and I'll look to see if some are still available there, and if they are, I'll link it below. But I bought this one in particular because it is the atomic timekeeping, and it is also solar powered. So it's not one I have to worry about doing the setting for the time or the date or any of that. And it's reasonably priced enough to where I can wear it somewhere and not worry about losing it or it being stolen, something of that nature. No one really gives it a second look. It is classic. It is tough. It's reliable. It's light. And it just works. It's one of those watches that I grab probably 70% of the time. Just day to day, I'm going to wear it most often. And I purchased this watch actually to wear on a trip to Africa. Back in the end of February 2026, I did a missions trip to Togo, Africa to do a leadership conference. And I wanted something that was reliable and light. And if I ended up losing it, it didn't matter, but that would keep time and I wouldn't have to worry about it a lot. So I picked this one up and really didn't anticipate falling in love with it the way that I did. But like I say, 70% of the time, if you see me, that's the watch that's going to be on my wrist. Now, on rare occasion, I will wear my Citizen PCAT or PCAT. You can actually see it's the watch that I have on today. And the other 30% of the days where I'm not dressing up or wearing a watch for a special occasion. This Citizen's going to be the one that I grab. Sapphire crystal, the PCAT stands for Perpetual Calendar Atomic Timekeeping. Both the G-Shock and this one I've done reviews on, and you'll see the links at the appropriate times on the screen or have seen them already. This Citizen I bought just because. I went into a local jeweler and was selling some old scrap chains, gold chains that I had or that I had acquired that couldn't be repaired, things like that. And looked in the watch case, and I just fell in love with this watch, with the complications on it, with the fact that it is a perpetual calendar, atomic timekeeping. It's an eco drive, so again, it's one of those that you're not worried about changing batteries on. And it's a little heavy, a little bigger, a little thicker, all of those things. But again, with my wrist, I can wear it. It wears just fine. Retail on it was $6.95. This particular reference number and colorway with the blue face and the silver or stainless steel markings, that particular reference number was E660 Echo 660 S Sierra 120586. And Citizen still makes a PCAT. They just don't have this particular colorway on their website currently. But I love a Citizen watch. For me, for the money, it's one of the better watches you can get. And they work phenomenally, spectacularly well. Now, another watch that I've done a review on is the Casio F91W. It's one of the most iconic watches ever. Best I remember, there's been over 100 million of them produced. They still sell around 300 or around 3 million. They still sell around 3 million annually, and they run right at $29. And I keep my eye open if I go into places that sell particular kind of watches to see if I might catch one on sale, something like that. I'd been eyeing that Casio F91, and I'll wear it on occasion. But I wanted one to add to my collection just because of how popular it is. How many it's sold, how many is produced, all of that. And I walked into a local Walmart one day, and they had this beauty for $7. And that's impossible to pass up for me. Might not be for you, but for me, to find the most iconic watch of all time for $7, it was a must-have. It now sits on my watch tree here on my desk, and it's a watch that I'll wear on occasion. Another watch that I wear every night. I rarely wear it during the day anymore. I wore it a lot during the day when I first got it, is the Apple Watch Ultra 3. I purchased the one with the titanium Milanese loop. Has the sapphire crystal. It's a dive watch. You can dive to 40 meters with it, water resistant to 100 meters. It's a titanium and ceramic case. It really is a great watch. Wears a little big. It's a little bit thick, but if you're in the Apple ecosystem, this watch is just really great. Has a phenomenal battery life. I done a short on it some time back, and I charged it to 100%. And then put it on and wore it. It was somewhere in the neighborhood of 2.5 days that I got out of it. Now, I don't do a lot of notifications I don't have them come through my watch. It's just always on, telling me the time. It's there if I need it. And I got about 2.5 days out of it. But most often I wear it to track my sleep. Or if I'm going to be somewhere where it would be terrible to have my phone out or checking my phone, and I might need to be able to get notifications for something going on, I'll wear it just so I can have them come through and be a little more discreet in checking them. But the primary use case for this now, and honestly, I'm a little ashamed to say it, is I spent $900 on a watch to track my sleep. But it does it exceedingly well, and it is a good watch. If you're in the Apple ecosystem and you want a good smart watch, in my opinion, there's none better than the Watch Ultra 3, and especially with that titanium Milanese loop. Super comfortable, very durable. I've hit that one, beat it, scratched it, done some work with it, and it still looks like new. Really is just really good. And then finally, one last watch, watch number 9 of my collection, is this watch that I received for Christmas. It's a specialty gift company, Bobo Bird, and I received this particular watch as a gift. And I mentioned that I do missions. I'll stick a link here to where you can check out my missions site, Renewed Ministries. It's renewedministries.net, and you can see some of the work we do. And if you would like to support us, we are a 501c3 nonprofit public charity, so you can make a donation through that site and support the work that we do to equip, evangelize, and educate the saints around the world. We typically work in Pakistan and in Africa. But back in Christmas of 2024, I received this as a gift from a member of my church. And it's a wood band. It's really a nice, neat little watch. Works really well. And I wear it out on special occasions. But the back of it is engraved. And it has my name, and it says, I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5. Merry Christmas 2024. Really nice, neat little piece. And so that's my watch collection, folks. 9 watches, each one with a little bit of a story behind it, from a gift from my wife or my son, or a watch bought specifically for travel, or because it was iconic, or one just because that's what I wanted. And some gifts that are personal, that recognize the missions work that I do, which is very near and dear to my heart. But now let's talk about a couple of missing timepieces. I think we all, if you're into watches, you have this one watch that you really just want, right? It just catches your eye, and you want to be able to grab that. That's your Grail piece, so to call it. And I actually want 2 of those, and there's 2 that I have my eye on. I don't know that I'll ever be able to get them, but if God ever blesses me enough to put me in a position to get them, I'll share with you why. Psalm chapter 90 and verse 12 says, teach us to number our days that we may get a heart of wisdom. Well, I have 2 sons, and I would love to have 2 timepieces that I could pass down to them. I'm talking significant luxury pieces that are worth being fixed, worth being maintained, that are heirloom pieces. All the watches that I have, they're nice, they're good watches, but with the quartz movements, there's going to come a time when they just fail, and they're not going to be worth repairing anymore. So they're not legacy pieces to pass on. I would love to have 2 pieces, one for each son. I have 2 sons, that will serve as a reminder to them of what was, and help them to mark significant times in their life. Something to remind them that our days are numbered, and that we need to make an impact with the time that we have. And there are 2 that I want, and I'll share first a little story about why I want one of them. You know, I'll be honest, I'd never heard of Panerai until recently. But at our General Assembly for the Church of God, I went to a mall there in Orlando, Florida one evening, a mall at Millennia. It's a little bit more of an upscale mall. Actually, one guy called it a watch mall. They've got a couple of different watch boutiques in there. And we were going through, and this watch caught my eye at the Panerai store. So I was just looking through the window, really had no idea of what they cost, but the staff was so phenomenally friendly and engaging, even though I was dressed like an absolute bum and in no way looked like I could afford a watch that I really can't afford anyway. But he took me in and he showed me some of the Panerai watches, and then of course I did some research on my own. And I stumbled on this watch here that I absolutely love. It's the Panerai Luminor Marina. The reference number on this particular one, and that's important because I like that color and that band style, and you actually get two band options with it, is PAM03313. It's a 44 millimeter steel. You get the leather band that you see there, but you also get a rubber band with that. For dive, because it really is a dive watch at its heart, sport watch. But that is a significant piece, automatic movement, which is one of the things that I really want. I have no automatic movement watches, but an automatic movement, you know, it can be serviced. It's a mechanical watch. It can be serviced and passed down if it's, you know, worth enough. That one certainly would be, but that is a Grail piece that I would love to attain. Now, the other Grail piece that I would love to have is a Rolex Datejust, 36 millimeter with a Jubilee bracelet, fluted bezel, and that clean silver dial that you see here. These are watches that can be serviced and kept, that'll be worth passing down. They won't be like the watches that I currently have. All of mine that I have will one day reach a point of zero value and the end of their usability. But this Panerai, this Rolex Datejust, both of those will hold value, and they're mechanical and they're worth fixing and worth passing down. And I would love to one day have those two good pieces that I could pass along to my sons. Now, there's a couple of other pieces that I would love to have, not necessarily a high-end luxury level like those watches are, but just a couple of watches that I would like to have in my collection. One would be a good mechanical moon phase watch. The other, and that one, I don't know which one I want. I haven't researched them enough, but I would like to have a good moon phase watch. The other one, and I'll show it to you here, there's a higher end G-Shock that I would like to get. It's a GW9400-1B for black. I would love to pick one of those up, and I probably will attain that one much sooner rather than later. I like the G-Shock. I like that one. It just offers a little bit more functionality than the G-Shock I have, and it's a round piece instead of square. There you go, folks. There is a watch collection. I'll link here at the end of the video where you can see the different watches that I have done that's in the playlist for watches. Again, check out the Renewed Ministries. Check the link down below for the Amazon affiliate links for the different timepieces or accessories that I have. And speaking of accessories, let me not forget to tell you a little bit about those. You can see I keep some watches on a tree. I keep those on my desk. This particular tree has a cutout for charging the Apple Watch. It also is just convenient for me to grab whatever I'm wearing. So the four watches that I use on a regular basis for some reason or another, my G-Shock, the Casio F91W, the Apple Watch Ultra, and my Citizen stay on this tree. I have a case that is a 6-watch case. In that I will keep the Wittenauer, the two Invictas, and the Swiss Legend. I keep those with a shoe rack that I have for when I'm doing something a little special, getting ready. I'll go get those. And then I have a travel case. It was a gift to me. and the travel case is really convenient to take a couple of different watches for different occasions if you're traveling, like somewhere to General Assembly or something like that. But so there it is. There's the accessories, the watches. Check the links down below for the Amazon affiliate links. And again, thanks for watching Everyday Bishop. Subscribe to the channel, click the notifications, the bell to get notified when we have new videos. Give me a like, comment, get engaged with the videos. It helps the algorithm, helps me pick up some followers, hopefully, and I can keep doing videos. I pray everyone has a blessed day. Thanks for watching.